Excuse me, mister, do you have the time? Are you so important that it stands still for you? Excuse me, mister, lend me your ear.
Hello, I'm Vicky Loris, and I'm here to tell you about my experiences from the Reform Symposium, which took place from the 29th of July to the 31st. I must admit it was my first proper RSCon, because in the previous two ones I'd only attended a few sessions due to time pressure, but this time I decided to watch more, even though I was working 2 of the 3 days. First of all, I'll talk to you about my experience as a participant. I absolutely loved it. I couldn't stop watching session after session after session. It was so well organized and everything ran so smoothly. I learned so many things about technology and education, about critical thinking, about anything you can imagine in the field of education. I was also a presenter this time, and thanks to Joe Hart, Phil Hart, Chiew, Clive Elsmore, and Shelley Terrell, who trained us, we were able to use the Blackboard Illuminate room. Everything went fantastic, and it was absolutely the experience of a lifetime, because I learned, I connected. It was fantastic, and I can't wait for the 4th Reform Symposium to learn even more. And the thing I learned the most of all was that next time I'm going to take 3 days off from work so that I can watch the Reform Symposium, the whole thing, because I missed some of the sessions. The good thing is that most of them are on video, so that's great, and I hope and I'm sure that all of you enjoyed it too, and many thanks to the whole Reform Symposium group. They were fantastic. A big thank you.
For me, RSCon 3 wasn't necessarily about one new thing that I learned, although I took so much inspiration from pretty much every presentation I attended. But RSCon 3 for me was about remembering or being reminded that the resources that are available to us online are just, they're almost staggering. They're almost impossible to comprehend. There's so much out there that I'm not using, that I don't even know about, that I should be using and I should know about. So what I'll take from RSCon 3 is that I need to be a more active participant on Twitter and on the internet, reading blogs, getting involved in chats, reaching out to new people that I don't know, stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit, but knowing that doing those things is going to make me a better educator. And that's what RSCon 3 is all about. You want to take something from it that you're going to bring to your professional development and help you grow as an educator. So I'll definitely take that from this whole experience.
Hi Chiew, thank you for asking us to reflect on our RSCon learnings. What I loved most of all was the community building that was occurring. I loved watching people banter back and forth in the rooms, talking on microphones, hearing their voices, seeing their faces. The whole PLN idea just became so much more human to me over last weekend. I loved what I saw, and I loved the little snippet that I got to be part of. People that I met, like you, Sylvia Ellison, Joe Hart, so many people that just became real to me as real people. And so I'm just loving the fact that I can have colleagues in faraway places. They're not limited any longer to the building that I work in. I love the people I work with, but now I love it that I can expand that to the worldwide PLN. Thanks.
Okay, hi. So now it's a few days since the Reform Symposium finished. Although in a way it hasn't really finished, because I'm still waiting for some more archived recordings to appear of the sessions that I was unable to attend. So you know, I'm still looking forward to it, as well as being able to reflect on it. One of the main reflections for me from last weekend's Reform Symposium again, it's just great to feel part of such a connected community of educators, and I think that was one of the key things for me. The community of educators. As a language teacher, quite often we see ELT as too much of a specialised field, I think, and our focus is too much on the language sometimes. So it's good. It's good to have a reminder every so often that we are actually part of a much larger field of education. A lot of the sessions I really enjoyed last weekend were given by people with no connection to ELT or language teaching. And, you know, I really got a lot out of those sessions. And I hope that some of the people in general education got a lot out of the sessions given by language teachers as well. Thanks.
What have I learned from the Reform Symposium's latest webinar? First of all, I'm now absolutely certain that attending a webinar can be a far more educational experience than lots of others. Entering a virtual room full of online friends with whom you can also chat and listening to some of the best teachers worldwide sharing their ideas has simply been a wonderful learning opportunity for all the participants. As for the things I've learned, I can easily point out two of them. Firstly, I desperately want to take part in at least one of the European cooperative projects presented by Joel Josephson. Not only will my students practice English in this way, but they will also become more open-minded and enrich their knowledge about other European countries. Secondly, I'm really into using technology in education, and my students already are proficient users of blogs, wikis, and blogs. So I have been thinking about Cecilia Lemo's proposition to use these technological tools as a means to actually assess the students' performance. I find this to be an extremely innovative practice, and I will try to incorporate it somehow in my teaching this year. Will I prove to be a good student myself? Only the future will show. Meanwhile, anyone interested can find links concerning the two ideas I've mentioned on my blog. Goodbye, Chiew, and thanks for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Greetings to the resourceful IDDI team.
Well, there you go. So, what about you? What have you learned from RSCon? Well, whether you attended it or not, we'd love to hear from you. So please tell us in the comments. Roll on, RSCon 4!